Hey, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to this place here with me on Tuts Tangents. I am Tut, and we're gonna go off on a tangent today. So, this past weekend was Easter and April Fool's Day, all wrapped up in one. Did any of y'all get pranked? Cause I got pranked and didn't find out about it until today. Uh, a small little prank. It wasn't really anything serious. So, one of the games that I love to play, and that my husband loves to play, is Overwatch. We play that frequently, and often whenever we can. Me a little bit less because I'm working now, but his joke, it was dumb. But his joke was basically, he told me they were bringing in, not recommended, but, what is the word I'm looking for? Basically, you select a role, like whether you want to be a tank, a healer, a defense character, DPS, like the role you would want to have, your preferred role. There you go. There's the word. Just went right over my head. So it was basically for your preferred roles, and he told me that that was coming into the game, and I believed him. He told me today, "Oh, April Fools, I forgot to get back to you on that." Thanks. It, on that topic, though, I feel like I should discuss my thoughts a little bit about it. I kind of wanted to roll into it with that, letting you guys know that I got pranked stupidly. Um, so with that, when it comes to roles in Overwatch, you have your DPS, which is mainly the damage output. You have your tanks, which are the protectors, the ones that soak up the damage and protect their back line. You have the defense characters, which they kind of do different things. It's whether it's a sniper, a turret, someone who makes a wall, stuff like that. So defense characters are kind of like all over the place. They're mainly there to kind of hold a line, to hold people back. And then you have your healers, obviously. Well, healers slash support, the people who either they provide you with health or maybe a shield, a teleporter, whatever the hell it is. They provide the support and don't have a huge amount of damage output, typically. So, always the issue when people get on Overwatch and you queue, whether it's solo queuing, duo queuing, whatever. I wouldn't say triple, like 3 and up. Like if you go from 3 to 6 and you're queuing, it's not as random. But when you are being queued up with completely random people, you never know what you're gonna get. Like you could get a 4-stack that all decides we're gonna go DPS, or you could get that one person who wants to play a character that they really fucking suck at and ruin your whole entire game because they didn't want to work with the whole team. It's all that fucking shit. So you never know. Like, this concept has been out there for a little bit. The positives where, like, let's say you want to be a tank. So when they queue you with other people, they'll, if anything, maybe queue you with another tank and then have the roles even out where there's like 2 DPS, 2 healers, a defense, whatever, obviously it gets a little bit difficult to actually put something like that together because you only get 6 people on your team. And one of the things that people go by is like 2-2-2, which is basically 2 DPS, 2 tanks, 2 healers. Well, then what about the question of when you have someone who mainly wants to play a defense character? Or then what about like when you want to have 3 DPS, a tank, or you want to run fucking triple tank, or like solo heals? Like, it would get confusing. They'd have to go into the algorithm and be like, okay, so we're going to put all of these mashups in here. And, if you would prefer to have the 2-2-2 thing, you can also select something like that. And it just gets too confusing. Like, I can see why they wouldn't implement it. To be honest, I don't know why I kind of believed my husband that he was saying, oh, they're gonna bring it in. Oh, and I'm just like, oh, that's sweet. Finally, about time. Just kind of went on with my day. Do. And at the end of the day, it is not a thing. I can see why it wouldn't be a thing. It would be fairly difficult. Because then you kind of take away, like, the freedom of wanting to do different comps. Though the only thing with that is, because it'd be a preferred, it wouldn't necessarily require you to choose that role. It'd just be like, hey, I would prefer to play this type of character. Put me in with, like, a couple DPS, a couple healers, maybe 1 defense, 2 defense, something like that. Like, kind of balance it out. And then you guys could go from there. I think that would be the only way to possibly do that. But at the same time, it's just like, how in the heck do you even do something like that? Like, it seems so ridiculous and so complicated. Because, like, I've gotten into games where literally my whole team is just like, oh, we're going to run quad freaking tanks. I'm over here. No, 5 tanks. There were 5 tanks in this one particular game because the other team was so bad and they lost a person. Well, I'm not going to say the team was really bad. It was because they lost a person. But they weren't exactly, like, up to par. But my whole thing was they wanted all the tanks. They wanted to use all 6 tanks. And I'm over here like, no, we need a little bit of, like, whether it's DPS, healing, we need something. So I was that person who was like, yeah, this is stupid. You guys are going to lose. We're going to lose the game even though we're doing well. And this isn't competitive, mind you. It was not quick play. Quick play, I don't care. I don't care about quick play. I don't care about arcade. You can choose whatever the heck you want. You could be running freaking 6-stack freaking support. I don't care. Like, it's not serious. It doesn't have to do with my rank, like where I pan up in a competitive scene with everybody else. It doesn't have to do with that. And that's one of the things that I think is utterly and completely ridiculous. Like, you get all of these people that decide, oh, I'm gonna play competitive today. I want to, like, whatever, like, and then they're just like, but you know what I'm gonna do in competitive? I've never played, like, whether it's let's go with the typical one of, like, I've never played Hanzo or I've never played Torbjorn, and I'm gonna jump on in. Now, I'm not hating against Hanzos and Torbjorns. If you are genuinely good, I love a freaking Hanzo and a Torbjorn. I don't judge people right off the bat whenever they make that choice. Everybody else does. Like, they're just like, oh, why do you have to go Hanzo? Oh, why do you have to go Widow or Torbjorn? And I'm over here like, check their stats. See if they've actually played this character, see if they have, like, an over 50% win rate with them, and even if it's a little below 50%, like, with a win rate, it could work with the comp. They could actually be a really good Hanzo or Torbjorn. You just don't know. You have to figure that out once you actually start playing, because you always end up with pretty much random people who you've never freaking met. So assuming that everyone who queues with a Hanzo or with a Torbjorn is gonna suck is just going to make the game suck. And to be honest, that's why a lot of people are just like, my Overwatch experience is fucking terrible. It's the most toxic community ever. And honestly, I feel like it's extremely freaking toxic. Like, I'd rather play freaking Call of Duty. I'd rather jump into the pool of toxicity in Call of Duty than jump into the pool of toxicity in Overwatch. Because 50% of the time, if not more, you always get that one person, at least one or more people who complain about somebody else's pick. And it's just freaking ridiculous. Like, let me say something about this. When you're playing a game and you're focusing more on someone else's kills as opposed to your own, you fucked up. Already, your level of playing went from here to here. You knocked yourself down because you're focusing so hard on someone else on your team than on yourself. You need to, 1, keep yourself alive, 2, get kills, heal, do whatever your freaking role is, and freaking pay attention to where your other teammates are. If someone is not in the voice chat or someone's not even completely paying attention, they're just off doing their own thing, whatever, like, either A, you can be a good teammate and still, whenever they come back, do whatever the hell you have to do, whether it's protect them, something like that, like, just pay attention to the payload, the point, whatever the hell it is. Like, if you have to do that, freaking do it. it, like, don't focus on everybody else. That's the biggest thing that I've noticed in the game. And I don't mean, like, not focusing on other people as in, like, when they're playing, you support them and play with them kind of thing. No, I mean, like, when you're focusing so hard on one specific character who you're not playing, who you're not seeing what they're doing, you're not constantly looking at the kill feed to see whenever the hell they get a freaking kill. Like, look, you need to focus on yourself and how you're doing in the game. That is the most freaking important thing. Like, put that number 1. Number 2 is being a part of the team. Number 3 is shutting the hell up when you don't like how someone else is playing. Like, you're always gonna get that one teammate who just, one, has the awareness of a freaking sea slug, or 2 is just so freaking about themselves. They're just out, they're just dinking people left and right. That's all their focus is. Or, like, they're running out into the crowd and getting shot, like, as soon as they freaking go, and they die, like, right away. Like, don't focus on them. You can mention it, like, maybe once. Be like, hey, you're alone, or something like that. And if he still keeps going and keep doing that stuff, well, then freaking report it. Don't keep focusing on that character. Focus on the rest of your team. You got 4 other teammates to focus on, and you decide to focus on the one guy who's not doing well. Like, you can 5v6 people and still do well. Just consider it like a match like that. If someone is throwing that hard and they know, like, if you're in a higher rank, like whether you're high gold, platinum, yeah, it's not technically that high, it's technically average. But if you're like high gold, plat, diamond, or above, like, you should be able to just focus on the rest of your team. If you have one guy who's throwing, don't make him the main focus of your game. You're just gonna ruin it. You're gonna ruin it for yourself and for everybody else. And people don't realize this. It's ridiculous. Like, I love Overwatch. Overwatch is, like, one of my favorite freaking games of all time for right now. Like, it's really one of those games where you get so freaking pumped and so into it. And every game, you may think it's the same, but no game is the same. No 2 games are like, unless you queue, like, okay, let's put it this way. Okay. They can be alike if you decide to queue with the losing team that you queued with before. Like, if you all grouped up, whatever. Or the same, like, the same winning team. It could be losing, could be winning, whatever. Like, everybody tells you that when you get, like, a toxic team, don't play another comp game after the game is over. Wait a little bit and then queue. And when I say a little bit, I don't mean, okay, I waited like 10, 20 seconds. Oh, I waited a minute. No, if anything, go play a quick play game, go play arcade, go play something, walk up, go get some water, and then queue. So you don't get put up with those same people again. Or, like, you also have the option to block this person on PC or something like that. Or non-preferred players, I believe, is coming up. I don't know if they updated it yet, because I have not played. I really want to. Looking to play this weekend, but aside from that, you have those things available to you. Use them. Don't complain when you keep queuing with the same guy for the 3rd time and you're sick of how he plays if you didn't wait and queue later. That's your own damn fault. That is your own fault entirely. So, like I said, I love this game. It's one of my favorite games of all time. And every game is not the same. You get in there and you never know what you're going to get. You never know. You could get an amazing team. You could steamroll the other team. But here's the thing with that. That comes down to matchmaking and stuff like that. The way that Overwatch does it is you're supposed to win 50% of your games. You're supposed to lose 50% of your games. And sometimes, very rarely, what I've noticed is you get an even match. Like, it is so difficult to get a head-to-head. You're both in overtime, you're both doing well, and then it's like a draw, or it's like you won by a hair, you lost by a hair, something like that. I feel like it's very rare. Other than that, it's like you'll get one team that steamrolls and you'll get another team that, like, you got a thrower, you got a lever, you got just in general shitty teamwork going on in that whole team. No one wants to change their character to fit a better comp, to go against the other team. Someone doesn't want to cooperate. It's just the ends the ends of these games, these winning and losing games, is so far on the scale from each other. It is ridiculous. That's part of the reason why it's not really a love-hate relationship. It's more like a love-dislike relationship with Overwatch, because that part of it is so powerful. Like, it makes you hate the game, or dislike. It makes you hate the game, but it makes you love the game. Be like, okay, I'm gonna make the next match even better, because whenever you win, it's such a nice feeling. Like, but the only thing is, it's because you either A, steamrolled, or B, it was once in a while was a very difficult game to where it's like, oh, but we still pulled through, we still did awesome. And it's just like it gets those endorphins. Is that what I'm thinking of? The happy mood going, the happy feels, just like when you gamble and shit. I'm not saying gambling's good. Gambling's not good. Don't gamble, people. Unless you're above the age of, 21 or some shit. 21, 25, I don't freaking know. Do it legally and do it with money that you're not afraid to lose. Anyway, so it's just, I love that game. I freaking love Overwatch. I love it with a passion. It's amazing. It's super fun. There's a little touch on the joke that I got pulled on myself, and I found out today that it was a joke. So thank you, Lee. Thank you very much for crushing my dreams. Even though I know they'll probably never happen, it's only a dream that I hope would be a thing. But, when you think of it on the realistic scale, having a preferred role is not really going to happen. And Overwatch is just going to be one of those games where you just have to let them balance out the characters to choose the meta. You go in, you'll get those toxic people. You just got to use your systems wisely, be nice, be happy in the community, and just have a good time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this rant. It's Tuesday, people. Monday is over. No one has to worry about Monday anymore. It is Tuesday. The week is continuing on. You jumped into the week. You did something that you possibly didn't want to do, whether it's going to school, going to work, whatever. You did that already, and now you're listening to this on Tuesday. And I really hope that the rest of your week goes well, and I will see you guys again next week. I love you guys. Peace out.